Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus for Leora Rachel Bas Chaya Rezel, for Nesia Tamar Bas Elisheva Tova, for Adina Bas Sheva Bas Necha Gitol, and for Shendi Chana Bas Malka. They shall have bracha v'hatzlacha b'chol maaseh yideihem. In the Gemara Maseches Kedushin and Daf Pei Aleph Amid Beis, the Gemara relates that Rabbi Chia bar Ashi thought that he was Michshel b'dvar Avera, and he had relations with a forbidden woman. It turns out he didn't, but he thought he had. And when he came home, he sat in his oven. Rashi writes, "Kedei lo hamis es atzmo," in order to kill himself. You can look there in the Gemara in Kedushin, Pei Aleph on the Beis, and see the whole Maaseh at length. But we have to understand, how did he want to kill himself? A person is musar al shmiras nafsho. A person is warned to guard his body. It's usher to commit suicide. It's one of the most chamor averis. One loses his chelik in olam haba, is the famous saying, which is a topic for a different shir possibly. So what's pshat in Rabbi Chia bar Ashi, that he sat in this oven? Nishvus Yankif, in chelik beis and Siman Kuf Yud Aleph, he was asked about somebody who was nichshel be'isser eishasish, and he accepted upon himself the din arba mises beis din, and he drowned himself in the river. So I don't know how this is all arba misos, but whatever it is, he's drowning oneself in the river makes one dead, and that's what he did to himself. So the shaila was the Shvus Yankif, is his din kedin ma'abed atzmo ledas, or maybe since he did it for tshuva, it's okay. So the Shvus Yankif brings the sugi in Kedushin, or Rav Chia bar Ashi went to kill himself. So we see mefurish that mishum tshuva it's mutar l'hamis es atzmo. He also brings from the Medrash Rabbah and Parshas Toldos Yaakov Mishtzroros, who had sinned egregiously, and he was mekayim ba'atzmo arba mises beis din. Amar alav Rav Yossi Ish Tzreida b'shal kala kidmani zel gan Eden. Rav Yossi Tzreida said that he preceded me to Gan Eden. So if a person does tshuva, does such an act out of tshuva, it's permitted l'hamis es atzmo. He adds that the Yefei Torah there in the Medrash writes that somebody is chayav misa and avera that he did is not permitted to kill himself. And about him, it says, God will demand such a person's blood. He has to leave it up to God. There's a Maisa in Ksubis, Kuf Gimel Amid Beis. There was a certain laundryman who jumped off the roof. About a Zari Zayin Amid Aleph, or Belazar ben Gurdaya, some Panav ben Birka, Vachiyas and Ishmaso, and they were Zochat Achai Olam Haba. So how could it be? So the answer is that Merov Ogmas Nefesh Al Chatasim, they had sinned. They felt really rotten about it. And they were Zochet to Olam Haba because they did Tshuva. What they did wasn't the right thing. They did tshuva. So therefore, since they had the right intentions of doing tshuva, they were zochet olam haba. And this, Yefei Torah, the Shvus Yankov writes, that it's true that from what the Yefei Torah brings, there's no raya that mutar l'hamis atzmo l'kapara l'avonosav. Because maybe they were wrong when they did it. And they shouldn't have. Just they were zochet olam haba because they had good intentions. They did it out tshuva. From the Maisa of Rabbi Chia bar Rav Ashi, we have a raya muchachas that mutar la'adam lahavi atzmo l'misa mishum tshuva. Because you have to assume that Rabbi Chia bar Ashi knew what he was doing. However, this is very mechudish, and the poskim don't learn this way. Look in the Shut Chaim Sha'al of the Chidan Siman Mem Vav is Marich, many others. But in Pashtus, it's usher under just about any circumstance for one to take one's own life. So we have to understand the Maisa of Rabbi Chia bar Ashi, how he sat in this oven, to be Memis Atzmo, In the Tshuvas Zera Emes and Chelik Aleph and Peites, he writes that Mishum Beholas Avoinoi Ve'ogmas Nafshoi Lo Diktek V'zeu Be'emes Oser Shelo Kedin. He says that he was so upset with himself, with his sin. He had such anguish. He wasn't, he did something he shouldn't have done. He did Shelo Kedin. But to say that about one of the holy Amoraim is very difficult. And therefore, Sarich Iyun. In the Sefer Mishnah's Pikuach Nefesh, he writes as follows, that the woman who Rabbi Chia thought he was nichshal with her, as Rashi says, a zona nikeres ba'ir, a well-known prostitute in the city. And it's mistaber that she would have bragged. She would have walked around town saying, guess who I slept with? This great rabbi. Derech pokros, as is the derech of women who are loose, that they like to brag about their conquest, just like men do. Also women, that they brag that she was with this guy and with this guy, very hush of people. So this woman would have bragged that she got Rabbi Chia bar Ashi. Chia bar Ashi was choshesh there'd be a tremendous chil Hashem. Razim nafla shal hebes, in this great cedar, there was a fire. The holy Rabbi Chia bar Ashi. So, Mishum Chil Hashem, there are a number of places in which one can prove that it's mutter laharagatma Mishum Chil Hashem. Hopefully we'll discuss that in another junction. And if he kills himself, there won't be a Chil Hashem. Because they'll see, look at what he did. Look, he realized what a terrible Aveira he did. And now look at, for him, what an Aveira means. That'll offset the Chil Hashem. And they'll understand that maybe he just couldn't help himself. People are just people. She seduced him. They'll see that he felt so bad about it, he killed himself. So it will result in a Kiddush Hashem, not a Chil Hashem. Also a Ma'aser of Rabbi Tzadok and Kedushin from Mem Amud Aleph, that a certain woman wanted to do an Aveira with him. And when he sat in the oven, and when she saw his tsar, she left him alone. So you see that even the Nashim Ufkaros don't enjoy seeing the man suffering so much. Maybe in the Ma'aser of Rabbi Chia bar Ashi also. This Mufkares, when this woman sees what a terrible tragedy she caused, how much tsar he had, she'll be embarrassed what she did. She won't tell her friends. And then nobody will know. So maybe Rabbi Chia bar Ashi was trying to prevent the Chil Hashem of her even telling. There was a Maisa here in Eretz Yisrael, not so long ago, that there was a certain teacher in an art school who was not a religious man by any stretch of the imagination. And he had a Yetzer Hara, like we all do. The problem is that he didn't have the Torah and mitzvahs, or even the moral compass to stop him. So he let himself do Averos with his students. So he claimed that it was after they were no longer his students, it was okay. But even he agreed that he had been sleeping with girls who had been his students. And there was a certain website that was going to publicize this. And he said that if they do, he's going to kill himself. And they publicized it, and he killed himself. So he didn't do that because of tshuva, he did that because of busha. But the reason I'm bringing up that story is because these Nashim Mufkaros, this woman didn't want to see Reb Tzadok suffer, but they didn't mind seeing him suffer. And afterwards they said, yeah, we called the police, they spoke to him, they said everything's okay. And then they published the Maimus, this article. So you have to be very, very careful not to shame people in any event, this woman, not obviously justifying the mice of suicide, and I'm not justifying chas shalom that he was with his students, but my point is that the newspaper should not have printed this, or the website, not to see a human being suffer, to make him suffer like that. And if they were afraid that he was a bad person and he was going to hurt people, so you can go to the police, you have to publicize it to the whole world. In Kedushin of Mem Amud Aleph, we see that Rav Kahana was approached by a certain woman to do an Aveira, and he jumped off the roof, and Eliyahu Navi came and saved him. And the Iri explains that the reason he did so was Mishum Chil Hashem. That's what we've been saying, that if he follows her, if he succumbs, it's going to be a Chil Hashem. Because people are going to think that this great rabbi's sin, it's a terrible, terrible Chil Hashem. Sometimes there's a matzav where the Satan makes you do it. You see that in Chazal. So I don't know if that was the matzav with Rav Kahana. But maybe there are cases where a certain person isn't in control. In general, we assume that a person is in control. And we don't assume that it was an overpowering Yetzer Hara. Most people can control themselves, and if people find out, there will be a huge Chil Hashem. If Kahana did this. It says in the Gemara about David HaMelech, Lo hayaro lo samaisa with Bathsheba. But it happened in order to be more tshuva l'rabim. Hashem wanted it to happen to teach tshuva for a yachid, that a yachid who doesn't have Aveira can do tshuva. We can also explain the Maisa of Rabbi Yechia bar Ashi, says the Mishnah Pikuach Nefesh. But since he was already over, and he was nichshel with this mufkeres, so she's not going to leave him, she's going to seduce him again. And he was afraid he would do it again. And Kilaraisi Harg Valyavor. And therefore, he wanted to be nerag and not to be over. In the Ramban, in Rochamos, in Sof Perak Ben Sora More, he says the reason Rav Kahana jumped off the roof is in order not to be over on Gila Arais with this Matronisa, the Harg Valyavor. Same thing with Chia Barashi. And even if we say that in the Ma'aser of Chia Barashi, it wasn't a vada that he would be nichshel with her again. And the Gilyon Rabbi Kiva Eger and Shulchan Aruch Yeredeus and Kufman Zayin, he brings from the Pri Megadim, that even suffocatious is Harg Valyavor. The Chedusha Rabbeinu Yonah in Sanhedrin argues with the Ramban, and he says, Yaharig Val Yavor, the person should kill himself. We never heard. Such Yaharig Val Yavor, we never heard of. We say if Kahana jumped off the roof, Yaharig Val Yavor not to sin with the Matronisa, and Yaharig Val Yavor is somebody else to kill you. That's a sham. Not that one should kill himself. Maybe Rav Kahana was Samich Alanes, that he'd be saved. Therefore, he just went and he jumped. Sholtegi Borim says he didn't mean to hurt himself. He was running away, and then he didn't realize he was on the roof. He fell off. He's running away from the sin. So according to this Rabbi Kiva Eger, according to this Rabbeinu Yonah, if there's no inyan of one killing oneself, in order not to sin, we have to understand how Rav Chia Barashi did this. Again, before we had a possible teretz to prevent the Chil Hashem. In the Yam Shel Shlomo, in Perak HaChovel, in Siman and Tes, he brings a machlokas. If it's mutter for a person to kill himself, when he's afraid he's not going to be Omed bin Yisrael, Mishum Yisurim. He's going to get Yisurim, he won't be Omed al Yisrael, he's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going to do a sin that, he's going to be Omed al Yisrael. He's going he wasn't allowed to do. He writes, "The yochel hatzis habayis kadei shisarfu hu vanav shas gzeira zenu kar chovel ba'atzmo el kamo sheniach lahareg v'zeh muter." In other words, he's allowed to put the house on fire. He's afraid that he's not going to be omed ben Isayon. He's going to end up, say, converting to foreign religion. He's allowed to put it on fire and then just passively die. He could run away, but he's going to passively die, so it's only like Rama. So to the Meister of Chia Barashi, and when he sat in the oven, could have gone out, saved himself. So here, he just was passive, and he remained there. So to do such a thing is mutter in order not to be over on the Yisr of Gila Arayas. And that's why he sat in the oven, so it should be passive, and he didn't strangle himself or something like that. He wanted it to be Aydei Gram of Aydei Maisa. It's clear that a person who knows these parts by Arayas and he doesn't control himself, he has no heter to kill himself. And if he does this, he's Ma'abed Atzma Ladas, because he can control, he can in theory control himself. And he's chayiv to. And when he's killing himself, he says, listen, I'd rather die than have the tsar of having to overcome my taivas. That's Ma'abed Atzma Ladas. You can't compare that to what the Beis Yosef brings in Kufim Zion. That a person's allowed to kill himself, he's choshesh, not going to be only ben Yisayim. There it's talking where the guy wants to give him Yisurim, which are Kashim and Misa, in order to make him convert. But Al Yitzur Darayas, the person's not allowed to kill himself, he has to control himself. In the Meister of Chia Barashi, there the Yetzer Hara was overwhelmingly powerful. The Derech HaTev he couldn't overcome. All he could do is sit in the oven. In the Shut Evan Shoham of Beis Din Hildsus, which is published over 200 years ago, over 300 years ago, close to 400 years ago. He writes in Siman Mem Daled that a person who's afraid of an Aveira, his Yetzer overpowers him, is allowed to kill himself. Maybe he means that he's mamish not going to be able to control himself. That's stami Yetzer Hara. That's something that is overpowering. But usually, again, we don't live like that. We can control ourselves, and we should control ourselves, no matter what. One Rav wanted to say that Rav Chia Barashi didn't kill himself. He just wanted to be mitzara himself. But then Rashi, that's not what Rashi says. Rashi says lahamis. Perkei Rabbi Eliezer and Perek Lamed Gimel says that Shaul brought Shmuel up, ba'ov, sorcery. Shmuel said to Shaul, if you listen to me, lipo b'cherev, your mitzvah is going to be a kapara, and you'll be with me. In Gan Eden. And Shaul listened, and he jumped on his sword. Or that he should have a chelik with Shmuel and Navi, also in Medrash Rabbah, it's brought like this. Could have run away, but he wanted to be Mechitzah, so he wanted to be together with Shmuel. You see that it's mutter for a person to name his atzmo for a kapara. So we should be zoche, b'siyata d'shmaya, never to have this situation. And we should be zoche to live long lives. And this is a very, very broad topic that we learn lo lahalacha, lo lemaisa, just to be a falta a little bit in the sugya. And with Hashem, we have a lot more to say. B'nei neder, shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved.